Hey guys! Army Jungkook shippers, this community, you might want to sit down for this one, because what Jimin just revealed is honestly one of those small details that somehow says a lot more than it should. You know those moments that seem simple on the surface, but once you think about it, they hit differently? Yeah, this is exactly that kind of moment. So Jimin casually spilled that he often wakes Jungkook up in the morning. And I know, at first you might think, okay, that's normal, they're in the same group. But wait, hold on, because when you really think about it, how often do you personally wake someone up every morning unless there's something deeper there?
Exactly.
And that's why fans are spiraling right now. Let's slow down for a second and really picture this. Early morning. The world is still quiet. Jungkook probably still half asleep, wrapped up in his blankets, and then there's Jimin walking in, maybe softly calling his name, maybe nudging him awake. That kind of routine? That's not random. That's not once or twice. That's consistent. That's habit. And habits like that, they usually come from closeness, from comfort, from a bond that goes beyond just coworkers or even just friends. And this is where the curiosity kicks in hard, because if Jimin is the one waking Jungkook up regularly, then what does that say about their living situation? Now, I'm not saying anything is confirmed, but let's be real for a moment, guys. For someone to regularly wake another person up in the morning, they need to be physically close. Like really close. Either they're living together or, at the very least, they're spending a lot of time in the same space overnight. And that's exactly what's making fans raise their eyebrows and go, wait, are they actually living together? Are they sharing a space, maybe even a room? Because this isn't just about waking someone up once during a schedule or a trip. This sounds like something routine, something natural, something domestic. And you can already imagine the reactions, right? The moment this clip or statement started circulating, fans didn't just react, they felt it. Some were shocked, some were smiling like crazy, and others went straight into detective mode. Because when it comes to Jungkook, every small interaction feels like a piece of a bigger puzzle. And this one feels like a big piece. Because it's not staged, it's not during a performance, it's not fan service. It's just Jimin talking, being honest. And sometimes those are the moments that reveal the most. But let's go deeper, because this is where it gets even more interesting. Think about Jimin's personality. He's caring, attentive, emotionally aware. He's the type of person who notices the small things, who takes care of people in quiet ways. And Jungkook, we all know he can be a deep sleeper, right? He's said it himself multiple times. So when Jimin says he wakes him up, it doesn't just sound like a task, it sounds like a role he's naturally taken on. Almost like he wants to be the one who makes sure Jungkook starts his day. And that's where the emotional layer hits. Because waking someone up isn't just physical, it's intimate in a subtle way. You're there at the start of their day, before the world sees them, before the cameras, before the performances. It's a moment where everything is real and unfiltered. And if Jimin is part of Jungkook's mornings like that, then that connection is happening in a space we don't usually get to see. A private space. A personal space. Now here's the part that really keeps fans hooked, because just when you think you've understood it, more questions start popping up. If Jimin is waking Jungkook up, how often is this happening? Is it every day? Is it only during certain schedules? Do they just naturally end up in the same place that often? Or is there something more structure behind it? And the biggest question of all, why Jimin? Out of everyone, why is he the one doing it? Because let's be honest, in a group like BTS, anyone could technically wake Jungkook up if needed. But the fact that Jimin is the one mentioning it and the way he says it so naturally, like it's just part of their routine, it makes it feel special. It makes it feel like their thing. And that's exactly why fans can't stop thinking about it. Because it's not just an action, it's a pattern. And patterns tell stories. And guys, this is where the Jungkook energy really comes alive, because this isn't the first time we've seen moments like this. Over the years, we've seen the way they look at each other, the way they stick close, the way they seem to understand each other without words. And every time something new comes out, like this little morning habit, it just adds another layer to what fans have been noticing all along. It's like, the more you try to ignore it, the more obvious it becomes. But at the same time, there's something really beautiful about it too. Because whether or not they live together, whether or not they share a room, what we do know is that they share a connection that feels genuine. And in a world where everything is so public and so controlled, these small, natural details, they feel real. They feel honest. And that's what makes fans so emotionally invested. Not just because it's Jungkook, but because it feels human. And let's not forget the impact this has on the fandom. Moments like this bring people together. They spark conversations, theories, edits, late-night discussions, and honestly, that's part of what makes being in this community so special. We're not just watching from the outside, we're feeling it, reacting to it, connecting through it. And something as simple as Jimin wakes Jungkook up in the morning suddenly becomes this shared emotional experience. But wait, before you think this is the end of it, here's one more thing to think about. If this is what they're comfortable sharing, what about the things they don't say? Because usually, what idols reveal is just a small glimpse of a much bigger picture. And if this small glimpse already feels this intimate, then imagine what the full picture might look like. That's the thought that really keeps fans up at night. So yeah, maybe it's just a simple habit. Maybe it's just Jimin being caring. Or maybe it's something more. Something deeper. Something that doesn't need to be explained to be understood. And honestly, that mystery, that's what makes it so addictive. That's what keeps us watching, keeps us talking, keeps us coming back for more. Alright guys, I want to hear from you now. What do you think about this? Do you think Jimin and Jungkook are actually living together? Or is this just a close friendship that naturally looks this way? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it together. And if you felt that little spark of excitement, that curiosity, that emotional hit, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join this growing community. Because trust me, this is just one moment, and there are so many more stories like this waiting to be uncovered.